On Twitter, someone wrote a tweet. The person was trying to say that Lil Nas X was acting like a straight man that is stereotyping what a gay man would act like. Because I have had a little bit of like, I don't know, maybe like secondhand embarrassment. I wouldn't say secondhand embarrassment, but just kind of like a uncomfortable, cringe, kind of like empathetic, sympathetic kind of feel when it comes to sometimes how Lil Nas X shows up and presents. He does the kiss and he does the dance moves, but sometimes it feels a little like he's a bit, I don't know, maybe a little uncomfortable with some of it. But for me, I saw it as basically the first time we met Lil Nas X, it was Old Town Road. He was not out. He didn't say anything about it. And then he dropped a tweet that said, "Hey, look it on the album cover. I'm actually gay." And for me, understanding that is that like, okay, so he's still newly out. So even if he's performing, I, as a black gay man, black gay person, I understand the feeling of like, for all this time, most of your life, you weren't able to be openly gay. You can't say I'm attracted to the same gender. You can't be a little bit more effeminate, adjusting your personality, your mannerisms to be more palatable to everybody else, especially in your formative coming of age years as a teenager, when you should be trying to be more your authentic self. When you're trying to be that authentic self, you're getting pushback and you're getting people like telling you like, no, that's not how you're supposed to be. That's not how you're supposed to act. That's not, like, they're shaming you. There's a lot of repression. There's a lot of you not being authentically you. There's a lot of people pleasing. You trying to please everybody else to try to be like, okay, so I got to move like this. I got to, and some of it's a little bit of survival. And now that he is, sudden stardom, more money, all that stuff, and he's in a position to be a little bit more freer. Now that he's come out, he can be more open and more honest and say, this is who I am. But the thing is, in that process, you're also trying to find who you really are in this way, in a way that you weren't able to do in your coming of age years. You're doing this like as an early adult, as in your late teens, early 20s, mid 20s at this point, that you're like learning and figuring yourself out. You're unpacking a whole bunch of baggage from from when you were a teenager. Even after these few years and all this time, he's still trying to figure himself out, trying to understand who he is as a person, as a gay man, just as a black man, as a black gay man. He's trying to figure himself out in all these different ways, but also while you're balancing and juggling a music career, a career where it's like you want to put out your next album and you don't want it to be a flop. You don't want it to be like, what is it, the second year slump or the second album slump kind of thing. You don't want your next album to flop, especially being a young artist. What is it, a Gen Z artist? You don't want to be a stan culture flop. You don't want to be that all the girls already critiquing him and critiquing all that about his music. Like, he don't want to be that. And that's the thing. The music is great, baby. I love Hotbox. Hotbox is it's very Pharrell. It's very giving like Y2K, early 2000s, very 106 and Park, very Jabot jeans. It's very like fur boots, very peak Baby Fat. I'm living for this song. I'm excited about this song. I'm excited about the album. I'm loving this Dream Boy era. He's been great. He's a great artist. So it's like, he just don't want to flop. But at the same time, you're balancing trying to not flop. You're trying to keep your professional career going, but you're also still trying to figure yourself out and trying to thrive in both departments. So I think in the process of trying to find himself, the public is going to see that. The public is going to see him being, trying to be a little bit more a little bit more feminine. He's done a lot more androgynous wear, a lot more androgynous clothing, a lot more putting in some more femme with the masculine. I think part of that is him trying to find himself, trying to figure out himself as an artist, trying to present himself as an artist. For me, I'm just like, you're just doing your thing. At the end of the day, he's just being a pop star and he's doing pop star things to me. You're being a pop star, and a whole bunch of stuff is art. The Lady Gaga meat dress, the coming in an egg to the Grammys, like, that's art. Like Nicki wearing like them pink wigs and them pink outfits. Like, well, it's not pink outfits. It's like a whole bunch of plushy outfits, but that's art. Some people don't understand, and it's not for everybody in the mainstream. It's just gonna be avant-garde, and he's trying to step into his pop star avant-garde. He's just trying to find himself in the public eye, and if some of that is him trying to present a little bit more femininity, because maybe when he was younger, they kind of beat the femininity out of him. They shamed the femininity out of him. So now he's trying to get in touch with that and doing that in public, doing that in interviews, doing that on stage, doing that wherever. Sometimes doing something like that, trying to get in touch with that, the shame is coming and hitting you and you're feeling it. And you're just like, oh my gosh. Like, so you're just like, you kind of start halting yourself, holding yourself back from being that because you're just like, oh, people are going to judge me. People are going to say things about me. They're going to make me feel bad about this. You hold yourself back when you're trying to be authentically you. Oh, he's just, like a straight man trying to pretend to be more feminine or whatever, or try to pretend to be like a gay man. A lot of that might just be him trying to find himself. It might just be him trying to be more comfortable with being more feminine, being more, just getting in touch with femininity. Or maybe that's just not who he is. Maybe he's just been masculine, more aligned with being a more masculine aesthetic, a more masculine presentation. Maybe he feels that being a little bit more feminine might get him a lot more acceptance, a more mainstream acceptance from a more mainstream pop audience, and also the gay audience as well, because the gay audience does definitely have, what is that kind of expenses? Disposable income. So we're willing to like buy your music, pay to go see you in concert, do all these things because it's like, especially if you are mainstream gay representation, we will show up especially if we're in like positions where we got a whole lot of money and we like what you're doing and you're repping as an openly gay person, like we're there, Although, I mean, I could say, I think him presenting more masculine as a gay man would work more in his favor because, we live in a patriarchal society, so men are more, masculinity and maleness and being a man is more appreciated. Male worship, shout out to Cynthia G, male worship. But also in the gay community, we do pedestalize masculinity and being more, presenting more male and more masculine, more muscles and all that. That's why that also works for Lil Nas X, that like he's more toned, he's tall, all these different things. And I do also think that might play a part in the reason why there is a subtle kind of dissonance to how he presents, is that because we're so accustomed to like maybe like a tall, like we have these stereotypes about a tall dark-skinned black man being like more likely to be the assertive, aggressive, I don't know, not being gay. Like, we're more likely to expect that he's not going to be gay, or even if he is gay, he's going to be the one that is going to be the penetrative partner. I do think how he presents, being a dark skinned, 6'2" black man, I do think that plays a part in like, is he straight or gay? And then to him also referencing the fact that he has a big dick and all that stuff like that. That might play a part in like, oh, why they're thinking that he might be straight and he's just pretending. No, there are big dick bottoms, because I mean he said in songs that he's like, used wording that basically suggests that I am more likely the bottom in a relationship. I'm more of the receptive partner in a relationship. So, or like in a sexual situation, I'm more likely the receptive partner. People have brought up the fact that like, why would he pretend to be straight? Why would he pretend to be gay just to be famous? I feel like he's still charismatic enough that if he was straight, he would have gotten all that. He's gotten very vulnerable on his album. The song, I think, his Sun Goes Down. I forgot what the name of the song is. It's been a little minute since I listened to the album, but he was very authentic and honest on that song. Like, I remember I was at work almost about to cry over this song, like ready to cry over this song. It's very honest and real to a lot of what a lot of gay men go through, but most especially a lot of black gay men go through, that you're not able to be yourself, be honestly yourself, and you can't be that with your family, with the people that should love you unconditionally. You can't be open and honest with them. You still have to pretend and play a part to please them and make them happy. And also in order to survive. I doubt he is out here like trying to fake and lie or anything. I really doubt it. I believe at this point in his life, he's really just, finding himself, figuring himself out. It might just be that he is more masculine presenting at this point, at this point in his life. I think that maybe for him, he needed to be more masculinity before to survive, and now maybe at this point he's acclimated to more a masculine presentation, not even just in his clothes, but just how he shows up and how he talks and how he like moves and stuff like that. That might be where he's at this point, because it's making me think of like Chloe Bailey, because people were like, oh, when she did the lollipop thing, when she just started being a little bit more sexier in her presentation and how she dressed, how she moves, people were like, oh, it seems so forced and it seems so fake and it seems that's not who she is. Because I think it comes down to a lot of image and people's expectations of what Lil Nas X and Chloe Bailey's images are, is that like, we've known you, Chloe as this like, you know, mom-mannered, cute, sweet girl, da 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 da. Lil Nas X, when we first met you, you were like this skinny black kid coming up, and you were like this black guy, this black boy, and then he's like you came out as gay. Because I'll give you that about Lil Nas X too, is that like when he raps and the way he's talking on the record, it's very much it's giving straight. It's like it's giving straight man. It's giving straight dude. But I almost think that if he did actually lean into masculinity, but not even just leaning into masculinity, I think he can present masculine, but with, you know, a little bit more femme flair. Because I do think that works, where you can be presenting as a masculine buff man, but you wearing like something that might be seen as a little bit more feminine. I feel like he's been pulling that off. I feel like with the pink hoodie situation, where he's wearing the pink hoodie, but you like wearing the pink fitted and the like the 3/4 length jeans, and it's just given like a kind of masculine aesthetic, but with like these like pink femme details. And you know, like if you're wearing like that kind of like him when he was wearing like the bust down with like the baggy jeans and the you know, his muscular chest all out and just glistened up, and just kind of like balancing that masculine and feminine kind of energy, I think that would work for him. And he should, I don't know, I don't mind him leaning into that, like definitely lean into that, give kind of like that with the thug aesthetic, but with like a little bit more glam and a little bit more fabness, like, you know, that Sean John aesthetic where it's like, you know, you wearing your greased up chest, but you wearing like, you know, a fur jacket and like baggy jeans and Timbs, and you know, you got on like diamond earrings, you know, you got waves kind of thing, that aesthetic. Like he could lean into that aesthetic. Baby, the girls will love you. Gay and straight, they all gonna love you. Just lean into it and move it. Especially since he's moving into a more Y2K aesthetic right now. Go for it. Even if Lil Nas X didn't come out and he was out here and pretending to be straight or whatever, and people suspected that he might be gay, everybody would have been like, oh, gay rumors, I think he's gay. He's gay. He should just come out. Just let us know that you gay. Why you up in this video kissing this girl? Why you up on this girl video dancing on this girl? You know you not really, you know you not really straight. You gay. Like, why you trying to pretend? Just be honest. Be real. So now he's honest, and now people are like, you not presenting in the way that we think a gay man would present. You're not presenting like Ramonte. Like, because that's what the person that tweeted said. They did a follow-up tweet where they were like, I expected him to present more like Ramonte. And I'm like, Ramonte's Ramonte at the end of the day. Ramonte is a different kind of dude. He's like, you know, he's a little bit more what I would think a quintessential butch queen would be. And there's no one way to be a butch queen, but at the end of the day, well, there is one way to be a butch queen, and that's usually being black and gay, a black gay man, you know, or just being a black masculine presenting person. I think you should follow in the steps of Chloe Bailey and continue finding yourself. And then once you've kind of figured out where you're at or who you are at this moment in life, at this moment in time, stand strong in it and be that, and make your music, make your art, perform, show up, be seen, be noticed, find love. I really do hope you find love with someone black. He could get with any of the boys that he wants, any of the men that he wants. And why you chose a white man? Why you chose this random regular white? Not even a like a well-known famous white man that we know about, like some up and coming, good-looking, fine. Like, okay, I get it. I get why you're with this white man. Like, you just got some white boy that looks like a. You got a white boy that looks like you just. I'm sorry. He looks like you got dragged up off the street. You look like you just picked this random regular, dragged him up off the street white boy. Like, not even a. Anyway, that's not what this is about. This is not about that, you know. And I hope he's not the reason why that video of you in the house with all the lights on, and you know, I hope he's not the reason why. I hope you're not on any substances. You're not using any substances. That's all Lil Nas X, I don't want you to be on no substances, baby. You're young. You're beautiful. Maintain it. It's like cigarettes. It's like smoking cigarettes. You don't like that shit makes you ugly. It gives you lines and stuff. So please don't do the drugs. Don't do the drugs. It gets you old and sloshy in the face. Like, baby, you too beautiful for that. Don't do that. You're young. You're you know, you're young, pruned, hot, all of that. Maintain it, sister. You tone up the body, girl. Hit the gym, drink a lot of water, drink green juices, eat all the vegetables, sister. That's what I want for you. I don't want you out here on no drugs or nothing. Live a good, fun life. Go see a therapist. Process all of your things, all of your emotions, all your feelings about being gay, about past traumas. Process all of that, sister. But no, No, if there's any drugs, no, no, sister, put it down. Put it down immediately. Put them friends down to doing it, or tell them like, hey, girl, you're going to need to do that shit over there, girl, because you're not about to fuck up my money. You're not about to fuck up my shit, sister. The fuck? But you know what? Let me not tell you who to find love with because that's not my business and that's not for me. But seriously, find somebody finer. Find somebody that matches your fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna keep it honest. Like, why am I gonna lie? Why am I gonna lie? Find somebody that matches your fine. Like, even if he's not black, let him match your fine. And I know that goes against desirability politics or whatever. Fine, girl, whatever. You're a star. Date stars. Find ones. It's hot stars. Like, date hot guys. Like, what? Like, date a hot guy. Date, like, if you gonna date, like, date Raymonte's friend. That guy, I forgot what his name is. I think it's Mikhail or whatever. The guy who's like who used to be in the Navy. Date that guy. That's fine. Like, that's the kind of guy that I see Lil Nas X with. Nah, I don't know. Whoever the hell he was working with, I hope that's just like a friend. I hope that ain't nothing like real. Because girl, what? Who the fuck wants that? And even if you're gonna date outside, like, date a fine, good looking man, a fine Latino, a fine Asian man, a fine, like, if he's gonna be white, let him be fine and a little bit cultured. Like, don't just be dating next to anybody. Anyway, that's not the point. At the end of the day, find yourself, find who you want to be with, and you know what? In all of this, if you want to be with some raggedy, be that, okay? Lil Nas X is figuring himself out. We might have expectations of who we think Lil Nas X is. You might have expectations of what you think Lil Nas X is or should be, and he's not gonna be the gay that we think he is or that we want him to be. He's gonna be the gay that he wants to be, and I'm looking forward to seeing who that is, who that shows up as, and it may not stay one way because at the end of the day, we're all changing regularly every day, all the time, years upon years. We're changing, and chances are he's not going to show up this way as a black person, as a black man, as a gay person, as a black gay man. He's just going to get older and change and be different. He might show up more feminine later on. He might show up more masculine. He might balance the two. He might get even buffer than he is, even more bigger and buffer than he is. You just don't know.